In this video, we explore the hidden power of solitude, the sacred depth of silence, and the liberating path towards self-discovery and divine connection. Drawing upon timeless spiritual wisdom and psychological insight, we uncover how inner stillness can awaken a new understanding of life, heal old wounds, and reconnect us to a love far greater than anything the external world can offer. If you've ever felt alone, lost in the noise of daily life, or unsure of your deeper purpose, this message is for you. Let's take the inward journey together. Before we go deeper, I invite you to share a warm wish or blessing in the comments. A kind word has the power to light someone else's path, and maybe even your own. It begins not in action, but in stillness. Not in answers, but in questions. There's a part of you, deep beneath your name, your habits, your story, that has always known the way. But the noise of life is loud. It convinces you to keep moving, to keep seeking something out there. Success, validation, love, meaning. And yet all the while, there is a soft whisper within, a quiet pull inward. The world teaches us to fear solitude. It says being alone is being incomplete. But what if being alone is the doorway to being whole? What if silence isn't the absence of life, but the beginning of truly hearing it? In the early hours of the morning, before the world stirs, there is a sacred stillness. That is when truth comes closest. Not the truth you learned from others, not the one you perform for acceptance, but the truth that has no name. It cannot be spoken, only felt. It lives in the space between thoughts, and it's calling you home. But to reach it, you must be willing to be uncomfortable, to sit in your own company, to listen, not just to your thoughts, but to the silence beneath them. That's where your real self waits, not the version of you that tries to impress or conform, but the one that simply is, untouched, unburdened, and quietly powerful. Most people are afraid of this silence because it reflects them back to themselves. And sometimes what we see is not easy. We see pain we've ignored, grief we've buried, memories we've tried to forget. But avoiding them never sets us free. Facing them, though, transforms them. Every painful feeling, every haunting thought loses its power the moment we bring our full presence to it. Not judgment, not resistance, just presence. When you learn to sit with your wounds, they stop being enemies and start becoming teachers. You realize your pain was never trying to punish you. It was trying to awaken you. This is the beginning of self-acceptance, not the shallow kind that says, just love yourself, but the kind that comes from truly knowing yourself, knowing the shadow as well as the light, understanding that you are not broken, you are becoming. Every scar on your heart is a place where light is trying to enter, but you must open to it. You must stop running, because what you seek is not out there. It never was. It lives in the center of your being. It is peace, it is presence, it is love. Not the kind the world gives, but the kind the soul is made of. Love is not a feeling that comes and goes with circumstances. It is a state of being. It is who you are when you stop trying to be anyone else. True love begins the moment you stop chasing and start surrendering. The moment you realize there is nothing to prove, no one to impress, and nothing to fix. You are not here to become perfect. You are here to become real. And real means raw, honest, and deeply alive. Real means letting go of masks. Real means standing in your truth, even when your voice trembles. This surrender is the most courageous act of all. To surrender is to trust that you are being held, even when you don't feel it. It is to stop forcing and start flowing. Most people think surrender is weakness, but in truth, it is power. The power to let life move through you instead of against you. The power to release control and receive guidance. The power to trust in something larger than your ego, deeper than your fear. When you surrender, you are no longer driven by need. You are moved by grace. Grace is what happens when you stop trying to survive and begin to simply be. When you stop asking for the map and start walking the path. You don't have to have it all figured out. In fact, you never will. Life is not a puzzle to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. Every moment is teaching you. Every breath is a doorway, and awareness is the key. When you become aware of your inner world, your thoughts, your reactions, your patterns, you stop being controlled by them. You begin to choose differently. You begin to live consciously. Consciousness is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. And in this remembering, you begin to see everyone else differently too. You see the soul behind the mask. You hear the pain beneath the anger. You recognize the light within the darkness. This is how compassion is born. Not through effort, but through awakening. When you know your own suffering, you stop adding to the suffering of others. You become a space of peace, a presence of healing, a mirror of love. And from this place, love is no longer something you give or receive. It is something you become. You embody it. You breathe it. You radiate it without trying. And others feel it. Not because you say the right things, but because you are aligned. Aligned with your truth. Aligned with life. Aligned with the divine essence that flows through all things. That alignment is magnetic. It draws what is meant for you and releases what is not. You stop chasing, you start allowing. And what comes is not always what you wanted, but it is always what you need. Need transforms into presence. You no longer live for some future fulfillment. You begin to live now. And the now becomes enough. More than enough. It becomes sacred. Ordinary moments reveal extraordinary truths. A breeze on your face, the warmth of the sun, the quiet of the evening. These are not distractions. They are the divine in motion. When you are present, life stops being a series of problems and starts becoming a flow of miracles. But you must be here for them. You must be awake. Awakening is not a destination. It is a continuous unfolding. It does not happen once and forever. It happens moment by moment. Every time you choose stillness over distraction. Every time you listen instead of react. Every time you offer love when you could offer judgment. This is the real work. It is not glamorous. It is not loud. It is sacred. And it changes everything. Not always on the outside, but always on the inside. And when the inside changes, the world begins to shift too. Because you are no longer operating from fear. You are acting from love. And love is what we are all here for. Underneath the noise, beneath the masks, behind every desire, is the longing to love and be loved. Not in a needy way, but in a truthful way. In a way that sees and honors the soul. And that begins with you. You cannot give what you do not have. So turn inward, not to escape, but to discover. Not to withdraw, but to return. Return to your essence. Return to your presence. Return to the divine within you. You are not alone on this journey. Every soul you meet is walking their own path back to themselves. Some walk faster, some slower, some stumble, some run. But the destination is the same, home. Home is not a place. It is a state of being, a state where you feel safe, whole, and loved. not because of what you have, but because of who you are. And who you are is enough. Thank you for walking this path with me. If this message stirred something in you, let it guide you. Let it invite you deeper. And if you feel called, share this message with someone who may need it. The light you carry is not just for you, it is for the world.